Welcome back to a brand new installment of Geek Nation. I'm your host, Michael Allen.
And I'm your hostess, Gabriela Garcia.
This week we introduce a brand new segment to you guys.
And we have a lot of MLB coverage in this week's episode.
But we're going to start the show off with the quote of the week. We're near to mediocrity, White Sox general manager Rick Hahn told reporters on Thursday. That's not the goal. That's not acceptable. That's not what we're trying to accomplish in the long term. We may well have to adjust and take a longer-term view and take a different approach going forward.
Let's stay on the same path and play Would You Make That Deal? White Sox general manager is right. Mediocrity is not where any team wants to be, and they have some tradable pieces that could turn them around rather quickly. So today we are going to look at a few trades that the White Sox could make at the deadline. First, trading Chris Sale to the Texas Rangers for infielder Jurickson Profar and AAA third baseman Joey Gallo. Would you make that deal?
Gallo and Profar for sale, and if you want to go young, I would definitely make that deal.
Let's say that trade happens. Now you can trade Todd Frazier. So the White Sox swing a deal with the Dodgers for Frazier and Melky Cabrera for longtime Dodger outcast Yasiel Puig. The Dodgers can then shift Turner to second base and the Milkman to the outfield, where they currently have 3 outfielders on the DL. Would you make that deal?
It's tough because Yasiel Puig has been hit with the injury bug, and he's young. His bat was hot at some point during these past couple seasons. But right now, I wouldn't do that just because he's been on and off the DL. So it's kind of a hit or miss. I would say no deal.
Yeah, and Todd Frazier is definitely one of MVP candidates for the White Sox. His bat is hot. His defense is great, so that'd be a tough one for the White Sox to make that deal. Here at Cleat Geeks, we are on top of the trade deadline with 2 different upcoming articles. So be sure to go to CleatGeeks.com and read those when they are posted. And make sure to follow Cleat Geeks' very own Thomas Gibbons at the Chicago Fan for all the breaking MLB deadline transactions.
We have an NFL stat of the week, and it is, before everyone in Pittsburgh starts panicking over the 4-game suspension of Le'Veon Bell, know this: the Steelers averaged more points per game and more yards per play with Williams and without Bell last season. As I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the episode, we have a new segment, and it's called Cleats Up. Our first recipient of the Cleats Up award is Colorado Rockies shortstop Trevor Story. He hit his 24th home run on Friday night, tying for the top spot in most home runs by a rookie shortstop in the National League with another Rocky, Troy Tulowitzki. He tied the mark in National League history, not just as Rockies franchise history.
This leads us right into our Think Tank trivia question of the week. What player leads MLB rookie shortstops for home runs all time with 30 home runs in his rookie season? We will give you the answer a little later.
And we have an MLB stat of the week for you as well. This week, the stat of the week belongs to Dexter Fowler. The Chicago Cubs are 44-18 in games started by Dexter Fowler this season, and 14-19 with him out of the starting lineup.
Here are the results from last week's Twitter poll question. We asked you, the 2016 MLB All-Star Game TV rankings were a record low. Why didn't you watch? 23% said they were busy, 15% said because of bad announcers, 24% said they forgot it was on, and 38% said the game is boring. This week's Twitter poll question is, should a player like David Ortiz get just as much Hall of Fame consideration as a player who plays both sides? Let's talk about that a little bit. What is your opinion?
I think so. I think he's a definite Hall of Fame candidate, and I wouldn't disagree with anyone who says that he's not, but he's just outstanding. His records, his numbers are completely just mind-blowing for a DH.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Big Papi, and he's just changed the game of baseball. And when you think the game of baseball, you think of, David Ortiz nowadays, and you think of Babe Ruth, you think of Derek Jeter, you think of Big Papi. He's up there with those names. So yeah, I would give him that Hall of Fame consideration. I expect to see him in the Hall of Fame. So let us know what you guys think on our Twitter. Go to @_GeekNation_ and vote on our poll.
And that answer to this week's Think Tank trivia question is, the Major League record for home runs by a rookie shortstop is 30, set by the Red Sox Nomar Garciaparra in 1997.
To start out Fact or Fiction 5, the Kansas City Royals will be sellers at the trade deadline. Fact or Fiction?
Fiction. I don't think they're going to break up that World Series team. I think they're going to try and win another one with the same group of guys.
Yeah, why break up something that's already good? And you don't hear their names in any trade rumors so far, so I don't think they will either. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be without Heath Miller, Martavis Bryant, and now Le'Veon Bell for the first 4 games of the season. In those first 4 games, they face 3 playoff teams from last year in the Redskins, Bengals, and Chiefs, plus the Eagles. The Steelers will thus start the season 0-4. Fact or Fiction?
Fiction, just 2 people off the top of my head. Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say Antonio Brown, but I don't think they may lose 2, but they won't go 0-4. Steven Strasburg fell to 13-1 with his first loss this week. Strasburg will finish the regular season with 20 wins. Fact or Fiction?
Fact, he's definitely up there with the best of the best, so 20 wins is not far-fetched.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. He's almost there already, so it's very reasonable for him. Ichiro is 4 hits away from 3,000 for his MLB career. He will then be the 30th member of the 3,000 hit club. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Fact or Fiction?
That's tough, but if I had to choose, I'd have to say fact. I do. I think that he deserves it, and I mean, he's proven that he deserves it. And just to go off this on a little limb, him and David Ortiz both will be first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, like I mentioned, when you think of baseball, you think of David Ortiz. Ichiro's also up there, I'd have to say. The Giants' 6-game losing streak is the second longest out of the All-Star break by a first-place team. The 1991 Dodgers lost 7 straight coming out of the All-Star break. The Dodgers will make a couple key deadline moves and catch the Giants to win the NL West. Fact or Fiction?
I say that for me that's 50-50, but if I had to choose, I'd say fact. I think, the Giants have exposed cracks, and they're not the team to beat this year. They're not who they think they are just because it's an even year. And I do believe the Dodgers will come back and win that division. Lastly, for the show, Dennis Green passed away this week, so we wanted to end the show with an interesting and possibly not known fact about the late Green. Green's 1998 Vikings team went 15-1 and set a then NFL record for most points scored in a season, which was 556.
That's going to do it for us on this episode of Geek Nation. I'm Gabriela Garcia.
And I'm Michael Allen.
We'll see you guys next week.